Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and it's Victory Monday. So we're going to have a little bit of fun on today's show. Major shout out to Triva, major shout out to everybody that pulled up yesterday. Justin Abgen, our MVP of today's show. We will be doing a Triva Raiders Report jersey giveaway, so if you already want a chance to get in on that, it's going to be at the end of the show. What do we say, $10? $10 super chat for a chance to get in. That's what we're going to be doing. Also, we're going to have a little bit of fun, a Victory Monday celebration. Because y'all kicked my you-know-what yesterday, I owe you a boot. And I don't usually do boots on Monday, and I've been kind of regretting it. I don't even know how do you put this into terms here. But I got to do a freaking boot today, so let's get a little bit weird. Then we're going to get into some Raiders winners and losers after a 30-6 drubbing over the New York Giants. But it's not just the winners and losers from that game. I want to look at it more from the side of winners and losers with Antonio Pierce. Which players do I think are going to succeed moving on from now? And the players that, unfortunately, are going to be losers because, well, they were probably Josh McDaniels guys. So that's how we're going to look at that. Then I feel like I got to do a brand new season projection. At the very beginning of the offseason, when we got the Raiders schedule, I sat down on this show. I actually was standing up, spoiler alert, and I broke down every single game that the Raiders were going to win and every game that they were going to lose. With brand new head coach Antonio Pierce, I feel like I got to go back and give you guys an updated season projection. So that's what we're going to be doing. And as always, hashtag Raider Super Chat. Get those questions, comments on the show. As always as well, love to my guy, Trivan. What up, Isaac? What's up, brother? Allowed Raiders, just one, baby. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to be able to scream Raiders on today's show for probably obvious reasons, because if I start screaming, I'm going to sound like a 12-year-old boy who just hit puberty, and maybe that's what you want to hear, but honestly, it's not the way that I'd like to sound. What up, Jatnell? Did I get this one right? I tell you what, I think this is best friends with Choco Bear and Roxy. That's my guess. I know, it might be Buddy Bear. Video game controller giving a thumbs up and says, GG. Well, hey, thanks for supporting the show. What's up, Venthrak? Also sending in the good vibes. Much appreciation to you. I also saw that we had some Dolphins fan early on in this chat, which is fine. We'll see you 2 weeks from now to settle some debates. But here's the thing. Any single time you see somebody that's not a part of the nation, spam Raiders. Get their chats out of here. Like I saw Juan Hernandez battling. I saw Martin battling. They're just upset because they got their butts kicked yesterday. So anytime you see that, spam Raiders, get the good vibes going, and get them the hell out of my chat. All right, y'all, if you want to shout out here on the Raiders Report, I want you to spam Raiders right now, and I'm not doing this boot until I see Trivan here. What up, Queen Sarah Otto? What up, We Out Here Entertainment? I got Jatno. What up? We Out Here, Queen Sarah Otto, King Shav, Kevin Rogers, Diehard Raider Fan 365, Venthrak, as always in there. Aaron is human. Josh is that a new name? I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. Definitely a new viewer here. Joe Perez, Michael Perez. I mean, this might be one of my new favorite ones. I have a lovely bunch of coconuts. You know who else has a lovely bunch of coconuts? I want everybody to welcome in member of the Black Eyed Peas, Jeremy Chugs. Ow! I know you can't yell anymore. The doctor's orders.
Yeah.
Doctor's orders. Can't yell. I can't yell. I mean, right now it looks like you don't know how to fight, and it sounds like I'm too young to fight. That's what it sounds like right now.
Yeah, I mean, I got some shiners.
We don't look like we're straight out of Compton like
shiners,
Antonio
but,
Pierce.
Hey, we're chugging along. We're chugging along.
I'm like straight out of Danville. Chug's not even straight out of anywhere. If you're happy and you know it, spam Raiders right now. I'll tell you what.
I'll take the tuna. Pause.
Waking up this morning, knowing that the Raiders got a dub. I always find it hilarious that I let a football team that has been a roller coaster of a ride like this Raiders team has been over the past few seasons control the way that I sleep. But it sounds ridiculous. I do. I sleep so much better when the Raiders win. I get a much crisper sleep.
If you're happy and you know it's spam Raiders. If you're happy and you know it's spam Raiders. If you're happy and you know it, and your face will really show it. If you're happy and you know it, our sponsor's Gametime.
Shout out to Gametime, Raiders concerts.
Where did that come from?
Theater. You know what?
That was out of nowhere. I didn't even see that one coming.
Dude, there's no, especially with those glasses
Dude,
of yours. I don't even think they're real glasses.
Gametime, it just sneaks up on you sometime because it's that dang good.
I'll tell you what, is anybody going to the Raiders-Jets game this weekend? I'm not going to the game, but I am going to be out in Las Vegas Friday and Saturday. And even though I'm not going to the game, I'm definitely going to be looking into some events that I can do with my dad since he's going to be out there as well. And I do think Gametime is the perfect app for anybody that is trying to plan a visit to Las Vegas, because if you're like me, I don't want to plan too much just in case other activities, I don't know, arise, if you will. So with Gametime, you can do a lot of different things, whether you want to go to an NFL game, maybe you want to go to a concert out in Las Vegas. The Sphere has been something that I really, really want to take off my bucket list here. But if anybody wants to get started here with our awesome sponsor, download the Gametime app today, $20 off with code RaidersChat. You're going to be able to find that link down in the comments, and it's going to be down in the description as well here. So again, shout out to Gametime for sponsoring the Raiders Report. Let's go to Angel Ramirez. Angel, Raiders, let's freaking go. Angel, cheers to you, man. That's an awesome picture. Hopefully that's your son or somebody that you're related to, or else you're probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. Angel, great pick, man. Start him young. Who was the Raiders MVP against the New York Giants? Was it Tommy Danny DeVito? People are talking. I know Rebel sent me a picture that said, I think that we broke Marshall. I don't think the Raiders broke Marshall. I think the Giants broke Marshall. Though, a sandwich right now from DeVito's shop does sound pretty good. Let me know down below who was the Raiders MVP in this Week 9 game. Let me see what we got here. I see Aidan O'Connell, which I do anticipate to be a pretty consistent answer. Amik Robertson is low-key a really solid answer because I was really impressed from what I saw from Aidan O'Connell. I was really impressed from what I saw from Amik Robertson. That guy's a dog. Like, to me, if you're Amik, you probably love having a head coach like Antonio Pierce, because the way that Antonio Pierce is, what he brings to the table, is exactly what Amik Robertson embodies. Just going out there and being a dog. You could also say the entire defense, I think, deserves a lot of credit. I mean, tell me the last time a Raiders defense had 8 sacks in one game. That's insane. Mad Max had 3 sacks. They had 8 tackles for a loss. They were going bizarre. Condor says the offensive line. Shocker. The Raiders' offensive line has their best game of the season when Jimmy Garoppolo isn't the quarterback. Do you know why? Because teams aren't stacking the box. It's almost like we talked about it the entire season. Teams have to respect whether you think Aidan O'Connell is a good... Oh, don't do it yet. Whether you think Aidan O'Connell is a good quarterback or not, you have to respect his arm because he can throw it further than Jimmy Garoppolo. All right. Here we go. Fortune cookie time. Do you ever get worried that there's no fortune in there?
Oh.
All right, what do you think? Also, fortune cookies. Do you actually eat them? Why for yes and for no?
Tyler eats the fortune.
Really? Holy shit.
This one's pretty showing of this channel.
Okay.
And me and you. It says, your sense of humor will get you through difficult times.
If you don't have a sense of humor, chances are you're not a Raiders fan. Sometimes you just have to laugh at the whole fact of it. But I agree. I think my sense of humor has got me to where I am in life, because my other senses aren't really great. Like, I can't talk or I can't smell all that well. My sight's not great. Touch, no idea. No idea.
My taste.
Who do you think was the Raiders MVP?
Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce? I kind of like that answer.
It's gotta be Antonio Pierce.
The Raiders were ready, man. The Raiders seemed like they were the most prepared I have seen them be in quite some time. They went out there, they played their freaking dicks off, but then afterwards, after the game, I mean, looking at that Raiders locker room, I mean, that was an unbelievable experience. I'm telling you what, right now, if somebody would have said, Mitch, would you rather have had game passes on the sidelines during that Raiders game or be able to go hang out with the players in the locker room, celebrate that win?
I mean, I feel like
Most people would pick that?
Everybody.
All right.
Would you rather have game passes or hang out with the entire team smoking cigars? Which one?
All right, fair enough. I guess one's like a lot longer than the other. One's like 4 hours. The other one's maybe like 20 minutes. Either way, I'm saying this. It would have been electric.
Would you rather hang out with all of the Raiders players partying up in the locker room, or would you rather have good seats?
All right, F me, I guess. I'll leave. F me, I guess. The name, how would you pronounce this, Jeremy? Fugit.
Bugget.
That's how I would pronounce it. AOC, 4 for MVP.
Hey.
Mark Davis from Kevin Rogers. Sucker Free says Mad Max. Derek Wynn says thank you, Mark. I mean, imagine, 6 days ago, we were cursing at this place. We were cursing on here, screaming, fire McDaniels, F you, Mark Davis. 6 days late there. Thank you, Mark. We've come a long way, man.
Who would have thought?
We've come a long way.
Look at us now.
And now we have the New York Jets next week. The Jets are going to be on a shortened week. The Jets at, 4-3 this season? And I want to say the Chargers are 3-4.
Let us know, how many games will the Raiders win this season?
Oh, boy. So currently sitting at 4-5, and right now it is also the live poll at the very, very top, which right now 8 to 9 wins is where 50% of the votes are, 60% for 4 to 5, 67% for 18%, 10-plus wins, 26%. To the quarter you watching, shout out to y'all, man. I mean, I will say this. We do have 714 people watching, only 187 likes. I know, it's brutal.
Queen Sarah Otto is about to raise some hell.
Bro. Queen Sarah Otto. You don't want to get on her bad side.
No.
I'll tell you that right now. Alfredo Ramirez, what's up, man? Marcus Teal says 9. HR 4. El Gordon Mas Guapo 11. Raiders Pape 10. James Jones says 8 to 9. I want a definitive answer. Jeff Rogers 10. Miguel 10. Raider Ron. What's up, Raider Ron? He's going to go with a 9. Ed Robbins 9 to 10. Roy Ruiz 7. MJ 9. The Stu's Music Box. Ron, if you could do me a solid, can you go into Mount Raidermore chat on Instagram and tell Trivan I'm not doing this boot. I owe him a boot. I'm not doing the boot until Trivan pulls up to this live stream tonight. What's going on, PG2869? It's my guy right there. Mitch, let's do shots in LV this week. PG.
You messed me up, man.
I'm gonna tell here's just the God honest truth. I'm not allowed to do shots this weekend. I'm not saying it's because of you, but I'm saying the shots that you gave me didn't help. The amount of shots that I took.
Well, what messed me up is that PG was, first of all, he's a real one. He's dope. PG in real life, met him in Vegas, a real cool guy, down to earth. But we had been doing Woodson whiskey shots all night, and then all of a sudden PG walks up
with some sort of tequila.
A triple shot of tequila. It was like
I have no idea what it
one
was.
Of those clear cups that was like halfway full with tequila. And I was like, bro.
Yeah, so essentially I'm not allowed to do shots this week. That's company orders. And I know this, right? Like, you're going to be able to find 99 out of 100 people who are going to be really, really good dudes. My boss, though, said he didn't like the idea of us taking drinks if we weren't at the bar, like from people. Like, people are just handing us stuff. So I'll tell you this, PG, you might be the only one I take a shot from, but I have to be present when you buy the shot. So I just got way too screwed up. That's just me being real with y'all, and I don't want to be as screwed up this time when I go to Vegas.
He was too drunk to taste this orange chicken.
Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. Also, shout out for Chugs for saving me that night because you ended up. Did you get Panda?
Yeah.
I know. I just didn't remember if it was Panda.
Yeah.
I knew it was Chinese. I just didn't know if it was Panda.
It was Panda.
What up, Raiders Pep?
The Panda giveth, and then we Panda taketh away.
Yeah. What a game, Mitch. It's been a long time since we witnessed a real Raiders game. Facts. I mean, that one felt like a real Raiders game from the jump from Antonio Pierce. Like, man, you got a head coach who's from Compton, screaming Raiders in a postgame, screaming Raiders in the locker room.
Did McDaniels ever yell Raiders once?
I don't know if McDaniels ever said Raiders. Honest to God, I don't know. I have no idea if he even said Raiders down below.
Another super chat coming in from Marshall's dad.
What up, Rebel? Stadium was so lit, I couldn't hear you guys on the pregame. Happy to see the win. I'm hearing reports of Mark staying home today. Marshall, shit, it got cut off.
No,
Marshall's here.
Marshall
made it, yeah.
I'm actually staring at him chewing on a piece of lettuce right now.
Is it lettuce?
I don't know, he's grazing.
He's a grazer now. I mean, it is Marshall Green.
He's a grower, not a shower.
It is in his last name. Yeah, Rebel, I saw the picture of you and your dad, man. Awesome seats. Looks like you guys had a hell of a time. I mean, I'll always say I'm jealous of the fact that I'll never probably get to go to another Raiders game as long as I do this show. But when you hear the fact of people like watching the Raiders report and then also being at the game, I mean, that's freaking wild to me.
Could you imagine if they had us up on the Jumbotron?
Someday I can already hear it's third down and it's just Jeremy's face. It's third down. And then he does a boot, and then the entire stadium does a boot. I mean, that would be electric.
Bro, the opposing quarterback's like, what the
How much do you think a boot would go for at Allegiant? Do you think if they sold boots for $50 at Allegiant Stadium, you'd buy one? Honest question, if the Raiders sold a boot, beer.
I think it would be more. I think it would be like 75 or 100 because you have to think.
It's three beers,
but
plus
also
the boot.
You're keeping the boot, the glass. And I'm guarantee you it'll be a Raiders boot, like with a logo on it.
Sure.
So they're going to be like a commemorative boot.
I think Rebel has the right idea here. I think if it was like $69 and the Raiders treated it like the 7th inning stretch where you get your boot and you hang on to it. And then at the end of the third quarter, you're getting ready to go into the fourth quarter, you're going to need that boot. Whether you're winning or losing, you're going to need it. And everybody raises a boot. You do yours. And then I do mine, and then everybody finishes somewhere at the same time that I finish.
Yeah, it would be plastic. No way they're giving out glass boots.
What could go wrong? What could go wrong? All right, y'all, coming up here live on the show, Victory Monday celebration. I still owe a boot here from Trivan.
Also,
winners and losers.
Nobody's in yet.
Correct. Nobody's in yet.
Trivan, we're doing a jersey raffle today. On the show, $10 to enter. Nobody's entered yet for a chance to get their own Raiders Report jersey.
So right now I'm rocking a Trivan. Usually that is a $500 Venmo. So if you want to do whatever that price decline is, you can let me know. But $500 Venmo is usually what it is to get in. Today we are doing a $10 super chat for a shot to get your very own Raiders Report jersey, courtesy Mount Raider More legend, Trivan. So if you want a shot to get in, you can get in.
If nobody enters, then I'm just getting my own Raiders jersey.
I don't mind it.
Never mind.
No, right now, though, I would love to see a duck race with one person. If the duck race was only DJ Robies, did I pronounce that right? I think that would be pretty electric. Also, PG is sending 2 5s. You can put him in 2. You can put in 2. And then Anthony, all right, yeah, now we're good. Now we actually have a race. Now we have 3 people in. Now we have a race going here. Brian Oakley, next time Mitch goes live, 24 hours, will be after the Raiders win the Super Bowl. I mean, what's funny, Brian, was we were kind of talking about, just talking about on the live show, when would I ever do a 24-hour live stream again? And I said, I actually don't think I would go live for 24 straight hours if the Raiders won the Super Bowl because I wouldn't make it. Like, you win the Super Bowl after that game because during the live show when McDaniels got fired, I kept saying, oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't get me wrong. We got out of the gates quick and we started, definitely pumping our legs here a little bit. But if they won the Super Bowl, I'm doing boots, I'm doing beer bongs. I don't know if I'll last 2 hours after that. Especially with y'all watching this show with me, I would love the idea of doing a 24-hour live stream again at some point. I don't know what it's ever going to be, but I don't think I'll make it after the Super Bowl. I don't think I would.
Well, what we learned is we would end up doing 2 12-hour live streams.
True. True. Yeah, for anybody out there, it's like, Mitch, I can't watch your 24, technically 26-hour live stream. It's because YouTube doesn't allow you to upload live shows, anything over 12 hours. So, yeah, you live and you learn. You live and you learn. I'm a little upset about it. Oh, El Loco, everyone's going to be turned. And there's every single person, I hope y'all know, I want you to go have a good time watching the Raiders win the Super Bowl, whenever that is. But just know, you better come here and you better turn up.
I'm about to go through a bunch of Super Chats that we just got.
Sounds good.
But I have a quick question.
I'm listening.
What team do you think McDaniels will work for next?
I mean, it's an obvious answer.
I just want to see what y'all have to say.
So we were debating about it. I think the real question is, do you think that he's going to be the next head coach of the Patriots? Because, 100% he's getting hired by New England.
You think so?
It's 100% he's going back to New England. Would they ever make him a head coach? That I don't know. Like, what other team in the NFL would ever hire Josh McDaniels again? The answer is only New England. It's only New England. I don't know if it'll be OC. It'll probably be OC. Could be quarterback's coach. I don't know. I don't see any other team.
Don't you ever talk
hiring
about the Patriots like that.
No, dude. Put me in a cage with McDaniels. Let's go. A cat, a monkey. Hey, Seuss. Hey, guys. Let's make it at least.
Oh, XFL. Could you see McDaniels be an XFL coach?
No. Why would you want to play for that guy? If you've seen how bad and how just, it wasn't only just bad. It was players don't like him.
Whoever said the Shanghai Sharks, hilarious.
Who's that?
That's a Chinese basketball team.
Oh man. Maybe he should just give up football and go to basketball. Maybe that's the key. 9 wins and 1 up Josh McDaniels again because he eats corn the longest way and allowed Raiders. That's true. Are we still going to do the Josh McDaniels eats corn the long way shirts? It's proof now. That's kind of sad. No more McDaniels eats corn the long way. I'm telling you, I actually missed tweeting fire Josh McDaniels. I didn't know it. I almost did it just for the sake.
DJ Robies.
We showed out, slept like McDaniels play calling dead, and then it was the Raider way. From top to bottom, coaching staff showed out, Raiders players showed out, the nation showed out. From everybody that I've talked to that went to that game, it was by far, and by far, the best Raiders crowd that has been at Allegiant Stadium, from what I was told, from people who were there. And that's a big pat on the back to all y'all. PG, if there were a lot of Go Ants fans, but the nation was loud and crazy from the start to end. A lot of Go Ants fans. It doesn't really surprise me that Raider fans were louder than Giants fans, especially in a 30-6 game.
Yeah.
30-6 game.
Anthony Delgado. Hell.
Why not?
Why not? Why not us?
That right there, hell, why not?
Why not us?
That gets most people in trouble in college.
What?
I can remember 2 stories that I can't tell y'all on this show that started with, maybe not hell, it was more of a F it. Why not?
I have a hell, why not story. I told a couple people in the office, but I don't think I could tell it on air.
Really?
Yeah. Marshall and Petey know. They know what story I'm talking about.
Also, Alfredo and Raul, they sent me 10 on Venmo. We'll allow it. We'll count it. So, Alfredo and Raul, you guys are also in for a chance to get your very own Raiders Report jersey. I slacked them to you. That way you can see them. Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
Venthrak.
What's up, Venthrak? Hondo just put up a new video, and the thumbnail is making me laugh my ass off. I'll have to check it out. I don't really watch too much of what he puts out. I do know that are a lot of Raider fans that enjoy his content. Again, the guys I mainly watch are like Graf, Wasted, Hammer, Cody when he used to make content. And then on IG, I like Mr. Fitz a lot. I think my guy Samoan does a hell of a job. Sanjeet's a hell of a guy. Those are the guys that I like to watch. What up, Jagger Drury? Let me get this jersey. I will say, if I could have a request, having a jersey that says Jagger D would be kind of badass. What do you think's more badass? Jagger D? He's like, I actually wanted my last name, Drury, which is fine. Just having a jersey with Jagger or Jagger D, it's pretty badass. Josh I. Let's go Raiders. You in? I always wonder what you guys would pick. Just, it's I. Steven Bryant, throw up the 88. Steven, that one's already taken, though. Cheers, you in. Ken, real one for life. You in, Ken. You in. Luis Rodriguez, you always know. Luis is getting it in.
Let's get it. Raiders.
You always know. Spencer Swartz. My theory hearing about McDaniels getting butthurt is that Pierce insulted the Patriots, is that McDaniels was never loyal to our team, and he sabotaged us. I don't think that he sabotaged the Raiders. I just think it's one of those things where, I'm trying to think of an example. I mean, if I started working at another company down the road and somebody made fun of Chat Sports, I would take that personal because Chat Sports is my guys. Like, Chat Sports will always be my guys type of thing. That's right, Petey. That's right. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like
Never forget RC.
No, it's kind of like the college you went to. It's like the college you went to. People rock with their college, even though you don't still go there, but that's always going to be your school. Holy shit. How much time do we got? We could start throwing out names that nobody knows.
Sean Navarro.
Tad. Nobody. Crickets. I mean, we're getting so desperate. We hired a guy with a first name Chip.
Abby.
I mean, we hired a guy with his first name is Chip. And then we hired another guy whose name was spelled wrong on his birth certificate. His name was Dylan.
Oh, wow.
On the birth certificate was Delane. We're getting desperate. What up, Sean? Was at the game yesterday. The fans definitely showed up. Also, are you doing a fan meetup in Vegas this weekend? Yes. I will. The problem is I actually don't know where it's going to be yet. So I have a phone call after this live show
and
with someone.
I won't be there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chucks can't go because of, I think it's pretty noticeable why Jeremy can't go. However, I will be out there. My dad will be out there, so you guys will be able to meet up with my dad as well.
Just you and your dad?
Nope. No, my dad and then my dad's significant other. But from people from here, yeah, I'm the only one going out. But it'll be Friday, it'll be Saturday, and then I'll put something out on social media, and I'm hoping I can tell you guys where to meet up with me tomorrow or whenever I get the update. But yeah, I'll do something with just food, some drinks, nice, easy, talk a little Raiders. It'll be a good time. Nothing too crazy.
Martin said in the UK, Chip is known as a crisp.
Really?
Oh. Well, our Chip looks like he's a little underdone.
Yeah.
He's very pale.
He's been trying to also grow out this beard for way too long. I mean, you just got to get rid of it at that point.
Marshall, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, right, Marsh? You want to say hi to the nation? I don't know if Marsh is going to come in here or not. I don't know. Marshall's having a rough day. Imagine how bad the Raider season's been. The Giant season's been worse.
I've been waiting to see if Marshall was going to come in here for a while.
Wow.
10 toes down.
I was really worried he was going to pull out his big blue. 10 toes down. There's no I in team.
There is a me.
Viva Las Vegas. I also love that you put I. Like, this makes me think that you did voice to talk. There's no I in team. And it's spelled I. Is that what you did? I don't know. Todd. You might as well be my first. You know what, Todd? I appreciate that. I also saw, actually, that we had a first. It was from Todd, first-time Super Chat. Spencer Swartz, first-time Super Chat. And then Stephen Bryan, first-time Super Chat. Congratulations.
You never forget your first.
You don't.
Maybe you're in the back of a car. Maybe you're at, inside your parents' house.
Blue Richards, Big Blue. Oh, man. Tell Chip to hit me up. I'll get his beard right from Fat Bearded Dad. Honestly, Fat Bearded Dad, not even you. Not even you could do it.
I don't know. Maybe. Could you imagine in 5 years Chip just has a huge beard?
No. I can't.
Bro, Chip used to have long hair.
Well, yeah. I could see that. I used to have long hair.
Like how long?
I shouldn't say down to my shoulders, but it was...
Chip had Trevor Lawrence hair.
Oh, really? That's kind of mind-blowing to me. Also, there's we have 900 people watching. 850 people are like, who the F is Chip?
Chip.
Well, actually, no, he was on the show the other day during Josh
Chip.
McDaniels.
They know Chip. They all know Chip.
They're like, Chip. Of course.
Thomas.
Speaking of chips, what's your favorite kind of chip? I love to see the cage match. Mitch and you putting the Raiders smackdown on Josh is candy ass for the nation. Dude, I'll tell you this right now.
Verbal meme that one of the rockers like, shut up, bitch.
I would love to do something like that, though there's a part of me that always wonders, old man strength. Plus, he was a former football player. You know, I don't know. I don't know how it would go for me, just being honest.
I'd rather see you and a different person.
Probably. Yeah, I feel like that one I'd win.
Mark
Tastic is back. Almost shed a tear at this Raider bar yesterday. A very loud Raiders and you in. I mean, to me, the amount of Raider fans that messaged me I'm super proud of this team, it kind of reminded me of like a parent feeling of your kid's going out there and he's just crushing it. It's almost like when Chuck caught his first ball. And I was like, oh my God, that's my guy. You know what I mean? A lot of Raider fans shedding some happy tears.
It's almost like when, never mind.
No? Michael Tolber, are you guys related? I don't know. Get a picture. Hopefully they don't make the same mistake and hopefully keep AP. He's a born Raider and should continue to being a Raider. I don't know if they're going to make the same mistake twice. To me, I said the magic number, if you want to keep Antonio Pierce around, is he's got to win 6 out of 9 games. Nice. But he's got to go 6-3 to be able to finish this season off, go in the right direction. And if the team keeps playing the way that they did yesterday, and I get it, the New York Giants are not a good football team, but to me, the offense still looked a lot better in the very first game. Davante didn't really need to get going, and I actually truly believe if this game would have been closer, if the Giants would have actually had a threat of scoring, the Raiders would have gone out and they would have put up more points. I mean, there's a part of why expose more of your playbook, why show opponents some more things that you're going to be doing moving forward when you simply just do not need to when you know that you're going to have this game in hand. But we'll see what happens with Antonio Pierce. The team, they still have to go through their coaching GM decisions, and if he's the right guy, he'll stay. David,
I have a particular set of skills. I will find you, and I will kill you.
Hey, Mitch, how is the Jets' defense? I haven't been following them this season, and I'm worried about the offense too much. What are you expecting for this game? Well, David, I mean, you should just watch Monday Night Football tonight. I think, I thought about doing a watch party for tonight's game. Unfortunately, I'm unable to do it due to prior commitments. But I thought about doing a watch party because, you're going to see the Jets tonight. You're going to see a Chargers team that the Raiders are going to be going up here in a little bit. Legitimately, though, I think the New York Jets have one of the best defenses in the entire league. They can get after you. They can beat you with just bringing 3 or 4.
We should have done that instead of Thursday.
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. It is what it is. I'll say this, though. I would not have been able to turn up today the way that I will be able to on Thursday. My body hurts a little bit today, especially just from still the 24-hour live and then yesterday's show. But the Jets do have a legit defense. If you want to stop the Jets, you got to get a lead early because Zach Wilson's not good enough to be able to beat you. They're going to rely on their running game. Breece Hall, who is one of the best running backs in the league. Right now he's running like a top 5 back. That's how good he is, which scares me against this Raiders defensive line. What up, Brandon? You in? Could not get enough of players saying suck it, McDaniels, and locals for the best content, personal interactions.
And more live shows. Pick'ems. Seasonal.
No more pick'ems. We don't do any more pick'ems. It's just live shows. I know. Unfortunately, I didn't have the amount of time that I did last season, but I'll say this. There were a lot of players happy. There were a lot of players showing a lot of excitement yesterday, and I think everybody knows, when you can see genuine happiness, the Raiders were genuinely happy yesterday from top to bottom, knowing that they are now trending in the right direction. Let's go to We Out Here.
Entertainment.
Jacobs extension if we keep Antonio Pierce. No, you're not. It doesn't make any sense to keep Josh Jacobs. I love Jacobs. He's one of the best running backs that the Raiders have ever had. To me, he's going to go in that list of, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen, Josh Jacobs. Right now I think that you could legitimately say those are some of your top running backs to ever come out, to ever wear the silver and black from a longevity standpoint, plus the numbers that they've been able to put up. But to me, you're just not going to pay a running back $14 million, which is right where he's going to be around if you franchise tag him again. And if I'm Antonio Pierce, I'm going to try to build this team in a different direction. Yes, he's a hell of a running back, don't get me wrong, but the NFL has been able to show you time and time again that even if you pay a running back, they don't always have the biggest influence on your team. So I'm going to say no. Nico says, do we have a 50-50 today? Unfortunately, Nico, no 50-50s today. And it's only because Venmo right now has currently maxed me out for how much money I'm allowed to send.
Wow.
And so I don't want you guys to do something and then I can't send you the money because it happened to me last night. Now, luckily, I've been able to send most of the money to our winners from yesterday's game, but I just don't want to be put in that situation again. What up, Birdman Group? Taking my girlfriend to her first game this weekend against the Jets.
Yeah, you are.
She is so excited to watch someone else other than McDaniels.
Taking her to a Legion, are you?
Raiders are undefeated at games I attend, 1-0. The real question is, you going to the black hole? He's got to be on his. He's got to be
Eric
right there.
You think Marsh is mad now? Wait until draft night when they take the Duke QB with the number 2 pick. I will never stop wearing my JMD shirt.
I love it.
Enter me.
I love it. Eric M., you are in. I don't know what the Giants are going to do. I mean, they just gave Daniel Jones a 4-year, $160 million contract. And, I don't think Daniel Jones is a top 20 quarterback. I've actually never really thought that. He's a good athlete. He was put in the right system. And I do think, we just talked about running backs and the money that they make. I think that pretty soon you're going to see NFL teams kind of fight back a little bit on this whole quarterback thing where, why am I going to pay a very average QB all this money? Or you just draft a new one. Like, if it was up to me, do I want to pay Daniel Jones $40 million a year, or do I just want to draft a QB and then be able to use all that money and just address other needs across the team? Like, I'd probably go that route.
I mean, the Giants are 100% drafting a quarterback this offseason.
I mean, Danny DeVito stinks. Tommy DeVito's worse. It's brutal. I felt bad trying to watch that offense. That was an offensive display of offense. It really, really, truly was.
Facts.
Coming up here on the Raiders Report.
The Raiders.
I got some Raiders winners and losers. Then I'm going to give you an updated season projection of the Silver and Black. As always, if there's any questions, comments, hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. And then at the very, very end of today's show, we are going to be doing a Trivan Raiders Report jersey giveaway. It's not going to say Trivan on it. It's going to be your name. So if you're the winner of that race, $10 Super Chat to get in, you get your jersey name. Which Brandon just sent me 10 on Venmo. But Brandon, you're already in. And we're only doing one per. So, Brandon, I'll just... Yeah, Brandon, you're already in, brother. I'm just going to send this back to you. Thank you, though. Hang on a second here, Brandon. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to, Brandon. That's my God honest truth here. All right, I was able to send back 10. Yeah, Brandon, you good,
Nico
brother.
Nico says, shout out to Africa for hooking up the nation. But he meant Trivan.
What?
He said, shout out to African.
Did it autocorrect?
Yes.
I mean, you ever realize sometimes the shit that you wild autocorrect from Nico.
Shout out to Africa for holding up the nation.
Well, that's why I was like, I have no idea what that means. I mean, I guess if you've never typed Trivan into your phone probably would have just a mental breakdown. Like, what is he trying to say right now?
What is a Trivan?
What is a Trivan? Is it a tribe? I don't know.
Not to take me away from you. There's nothing that Josh McDaniels could ever do. I bless the rains down in Allegiant.
You keep going. I actually like hearing you sing. It's nice. It calms me down.
Antonio Pierce is gonna do things he never did.
Honestly, it makes me think that it's already Thursday. It makes me feel like already Thursday. All right, we got 2 more Super Chats, and then we're going to get into winners and losers. Or do you want to do winners and losers now and then do those after?
We can do them after.
All right, we're going to get to Jack and Derek.
To get me away from you.
My God. After Raiders, winners, and losers. If you guys want Jeremy to stop singing, I want you to hit that like button right now.
Down in Vegas.
This is unbelievable, actually. You good? Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I got our biggest winners and losers moving forward after the Raiders' big 30-6 win over the New York Giants. But I don't want to just look at winners and losers from this Week 9 game. No, I want to look at it from more of a sense of which players do I think are going to benefit from this moment going forward with the Antonio Pierce. And then obviously some of the losers are going to be players that were, probably more of this whole Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler regime. But man, I'll tell you this, if you feel like that game yesterday, you feel like a winner after the Raiders' big-time game, I want you to hit that subscribe button. I feel super elated, super happy. Like, this is how you're supposed to feel walking to work on a Monday. You got a big old smile. I slept like a freaking baby. I wasn't worried about what this Raiders team is going to do. I'm excited because this weekend I'm going to be out in Las Vegas. So if anybody's going to be there Friday or Saturday, hit me up. Let's grab some beers. Let's grab some food. I'm going to be out there with my dad. I could not be happier. Antonio Pierce makes me want to run through a freaking wall. And if you feel the same way, click that subscribe button. So what I figured I would do here is I'm going to start with the winners, and then I'm going to go to the losers, but I'm going to rank all these players based on how big of a winner I think that they are. Coming in here at number 10, it's Michael Mayer, the tight end. And when you look at overall snaps, Mayer played a shit ton of snaps yesterday. In terms of the game offensively, there were 60 total snaps that could be played on the offensive side of the football. Mayer was in 53 of them, I want to say, or 49. Those two numbers are right now popping in my head. But the bottom line is they used him a lot. And one of the areas that Mayer really struggled in early on was his ability to go out there and block. And one of the things that I've said on the show multiple times is when you have a young rookie tight end, sometimes it takes them a little bit of time to get acclimated to the NFL. And Mayer has made leaps and bounds strides at getting better as a blocker. On top of that, I actually thought that Bo Hardegree did a solid job of using both Austin Hooper, Mayer. They spread the ball out very, very effectively. And at the press game conference today, or I guess today's conference, Antonio Pierce called Michael Mayer a tough SOB. If you don't know what it means, Google it. And he wants the rest of the team to be a bunch of tough SOBs. The team takes on the identity of the head coach, and we need a bunch of SOBs in that locker room. Let's go to number 9 here. I got Bo Hardegree, your interim offensive coordinator. I mean, this is his first real shot at getting the opportunity to call plays, and the stock is high, considering the fact that he's now going to be taking over for Josh McDaniels, who has gotten 2 head coaching positions. It's considered an offensive guru, and Bo Hardegree's offense looks a lot better than Josh McDaniels. So if I'm Bo, I got to take advantage of this opportunity because I don't know if I'm ever going to get another one to call plays. And if he goes out there, balls out with this team, Raiders look sharp on offense, there's going to be a team that goes, oh, wow. If Bo Hardegree looks this much better than Josh McDaniels, maybe we should try to go out and hire this guy. And I get it. The Raiders' offense didn't put up tons and tons of numbers, but to me, I'm a big eye test guy. And you watch that game against the Giants, from the moment that game began, the Raiders were in control, which I don't know if we could say at any point that Josh McDaniels was the head coach. Let's go to number 8 here, and I'm going to just chalk this one up to all the Raiders wide receivers. I know that Davante Adams didn't have a big game on the stat sheet. I know that Hunter Renfrow did not have a big game on the stat sheet. Jacoby Myers didn't have a big game on the stat sheet. Trey Tucker, 2 catches, 52 yards, had a long of 50. But here's the thing. You got a brand new coach now. You got a brand new quarterback in Aidan O'Connell who can actually throw the football. And the offense that the Raiders showed, I was kind of in love with it because you couldn't stop them. They were throwing to whoever was open to pick up all the first downs, and you could tell that the Raiders receivers were happy. And if you don't want to take my word for it, think about what Davante Adams said. Davante, after the game, was asked, how you feeling, even though you didn't have that big of a game. He was like, of course I want to put up numbers, but I'm not upset because of the product on the field is what the product on the field was supposed to be. Davante was so dang ticked off after the Raiders win against the Patriots because he's not an idiot. He looked at that offense and was like, sure, we were able to win, but our offense played like crap. So now the receivers, everybody looked a lot better. Everybody looked a lot more motivated, and I really truly believe that the receivers in general were big-time winners. Coming in here at number 7, the Raiders' offensive line. I talked to one of the Raiders' offensive linemen right after the game, and he was like, spirits are super high in the locker room right now. And go figure, it's the best offensive line game that we've seen from the Silver and Black this season when you put Jimmy Garoppolo on the bench. The reason is because teams couldn't stack the box anymore. And when you don't have the ability to stack the box, that's going to open up the running game. Go figure, Josh Jacobs has a good game. Aidan O'Connell has a clean pocket to throw for the most of the part. And, you got to give your flowers to your tackles. You got to give your flowers to your interior guard play. I thought Andre James had himself a hell of a game. The offensive line is clearly a winner. Let's go to number 6 here on my list. It's Robert Spillane. Robert Spillane is the best Raiders linebacker on this team, and it's not close. In fact, I think Robert Spillane's the best linebacker that the Raiders have had, in quite some time. To me, Spillane is better than Denzel Perriman, ever was with the Raiders. He's better than anything Nicholas Morrow did a few years ago. Like, off the top of my head, right now, what Spillane has been able to do in the coverage game, from the leader standpoint, wearing the green dot, and now that you got Antonio Pierce, who was the former linebackers coach, leading this charge, I mean, to me, Robert Spillane is one of the biggest winners on the defensive side of the football, and the fact that the Raiders have him for another season, I'm really, really excited to see what Spillane is going to be able to do for the remainder of this season. I'm also really excited to see what Spillane's going to look like going forward, because to me, and, you can throw all the tomatoes that you want at me because I deserve them. I wasn't excited when the Raiders signed Spillane. And Spillane is proving me wrong on Madden, and he's proving me wrong in real life, which makes me a very happy camper. Before I reveal my top 5 winners, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to do my top 5 losers, and then at the very, very end of the show, I'm going to get into my top 5 winners. So that's going to be coming up here on the Raiders Report. But if you don't already know about our awesome sponsor, Gametime, I want you to listen up, because if you use promo code RaidersChat, you're going to be able to get $20 off. So what I want you guys to do is take a second here and download the Gametime app, because anybody that's planning on going out to Las Vegas, I'm planning on going to Las Vegas this weekend, hang out with my dad, and I can't freaking wait. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not going to go to the Raiders game itself. You guys obviously can, and I was actually taking some pictures recently of some Raiders games where you could go out there and see, some different events that you could do and some different, comedy theater, all that kind of good stuff. But one of the things I was looking at was the Sphere. I've been looking to go to the Sphere. My dad for a long time was like, Mitch, is there any cool things that we could go do? The Blue Man Group has been something that's been on my bucket list actually for quite some time. I don't know if I'll do that without Alex. I feel like she'll kill me. But basically with the Gametime app, you can go out to Las Vegas, not have any plans. You could be sitting there on a Friday night and like, all right, let's look to see what we can do. We can find cheap tickets. That's where Gametime really can step it up. So, Nation, what I want you guys to do right now is download the Gametime app, $20 off with code RaidersChat. I promise you, it's going to be an app that you use all the time, not just for Raiders tickets. And for people right now with the NBA right around the corner, you can use it for that. I know a bunch of my buddies, that's the app that we were using down here in Dallas, Texas, when we were looking for Rangers World Series tickets, and I was kind of hoping to get to go to Game 6, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. Also, though, you can see the Las Vegas Raiders tickets, and one of the things that I love that Gametime does, they have this feature, it's called the all-in price, which, for me, when you go look at tickets, right, think about this, you're looking at tickets, and you just see, like, what the price is, and then after all these fees and taxes, you're like, how did it get to this much? The feature that I like that Gametime does is they have an all-in, what is it? The all-inclusive price or something like that. So you click on that button, and then it shows you how much the tickets are after all the taxes, all the fees, so there's no surprises, which is one of the reasons why I think Gametime is as successful as what it truly is. So one more time, y'all, it's going to be down in the comments, down in the description. Download the Gametime app. Use code RaidersChat for $20 off. All right, y'all, coming up here now, some Raiders losers after the Giants game, and I wanted to keep today's show happy. Part of my job here is to, be able to read between the lines, and even though the Raiders won, there are losers because there are certain guys that are McDaniels guys. So for me, number 5 coming up here on the show is Jacorian Bennett. And one of the things that Bennett has to realize, I also thought about putting Byron Young on here, is, Bennett is a McDaniels and Ziegler draft pick. Whoever comes in next season isn't, they're not tied to Bennett. And for how bad Jacorian has played this season, I'd get a little bit worried because he's a liability. He's not better than Amik Robertson. He's not better than Tyler Hall. He's not better than Probably almost about every single corner on that team. I mean, to me, you go back and you look, and I get it. You're going to keep a rookie, but the fact that we could have had a player on this team like a Duke Shelley, could have used him. I mean, you got to figure out a way to get it together, because I don't think that they would end up cutting him next year. But people also said I was crazy when I predicted Matthew Butler wasn't going to make this team. But guess what? If you can't get it done on the field and you bring in a new coaching regime, even if you keep Antonio Pierce, they're not tied to Bennett. And Bennett right now is a liability. Let's go to number 4 on this list. It's Brandon Bolden. I mean, if you want to write a book about how to make an NFL roster and contribute absolutely nothing, somebody needs to go interview Brandon Bolden, because I get the fact that he's playing special teams. This guy's making over $2 million this season. He's the worst running back on this roster, and it's not close. I don't know what he offers to this team besides being a leader for Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler, but now that those two are out, Brandon Bolden clearly is a big-time loser since McDaniels got fired. Let's go to number 3, and you're going to see a trend here. Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer was signed to be the backup quarterback to Jim Garoppolo to be able to teach Josh McDaniels his system. And because he was signed to that 2-year deal, this is going to be another player that at the end of the season, they're going to cut him. There's no way he's going to be coming back to this team. I'm sure Hoyer is a great guy. I'm sure he is. He sucks in terms of being an NFL quarterback. He's not even top 50. He's not even top 60. The only quarterback that Brian Hoyer might be better than is Tommy Danny DeVito. Let's go to number 2 here. It's Jimmy Garoppolo. Got to be another big-time loser. I mean, Aidan O'Connell's the starting quarterback from here on out. Sure, can you really be a loser when you're making the amount of money that Jimmy G is making? Some people might argue that. But to me, Garoppolo doesn't want to be on the bench. He wants to be the starting quarterback. Here's the problem. Jimmy G is the worst arm in the NFL, and I don't know if that's all that close. Now you got Raiders players sticking up for Aidan O'Connell. I mean, as soon as they moved on from Josh McDaniels, it was a very easy choice, because anybody with a set of eyes can see that Garoppolo is as washed as it comes, and now that he doesn't have his guy and McDaniels there to support him, Jimmy G, I don't think he ever sees the field again as a starting quarterback. I can't imagine he does anyway. And then number 1, not even on the team anymore, it is. I mean, it's got to be Josh McDaniels, and I'll keep this one short. When you think about how bad this Raiders offense has been, when you think about how just disgraceful and all the things, unfortunately, that the Raiders accomplished with McDaniels in a short amount of time that are embarrassing, and then to go out there and play the game the way that they did, to come out and just go guns a-blazing with your offense, the fact that you hired an offensive-minded guru and spent top 5 money in terms of the overall offense going into the season, you had 12 draft picks. It was an absolute disaster. And when you go back and you look at how bad Gruden and the Mayock were, and now you're looking at how bad, Ziegler, I almost feel bad for Ziegler and McDaniels were, I don't know if you could have picked 2 worst head coach GM candidates overall. I really don't know. And I said this on social media, and I know some people laughed at me because they're like, Mitch, the Raiders are never going to entertain the idea of talking to a Raiders YouTuber. Okay, they should. Anybody that's watched this show for the last 3-4 years can tell you that this show has done a lot better job at being able to predict what the Raiders should and should not do. And I'm going to tell you all this right now. We got Josh McDaniels fired. My next thing I'm going to go for is I want to at least be in the conversation of who the Raiders decide to hire at head coach and general manager. And my promise to the nation is this: I won't do it alone. I'll have Jeremy Chuggs, my Chat Sports team, and the entire nation. I want our voice to be heard, because I don't want to deal with another Gruden and Mayock fiasco. I don't want to deal with another McDaniels and Ziegler fiasco. So if you guys are down to get me a part of this so our voice can be heard, I'm going for it. I want to be a part of the hiring discussion going into this offseason. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, more winners here after the Giants game. So I already gave you my 10 through 6, and now I got my top 5 biggest winners going forward here with Antonio Pierce. But before I give you my top 5, who do you think is the biggest winner after the Raiders win over the Giants? Is it Antonio Pierce? Is it Aidan O'Connell? Is it some other player that I've already mentioned? I want to know who you believe is the biggest winner after the Raiders win over the Giants moving forward from here on out. Let's go to number 5 on my list. It's going to be Maxx Crosby. And Crosby had 3 sacks. He looked unbelievable. But to me, it almost looked like Crosby got a little bit of help this past week. And again, the Giants' offense is the worst offense in the NFL. So I'm not trying to get too crazy. I don't expect 8 sacks every single week. But even the defense was flying all over the football field. And now that you got a head coach in Antonio Pierce, who wants all players to be like Maxx Crosby. Antonio Pierce is trying to match Mad Max's energy. So you add those two together, and then if more players start trying to match Max's energy, man, I'm struggling saying that, then I do think that that's going to help out Crosby in the long run. Mark Davis apologized to Crosby, Davante Adams, and some other leaders on this team, basically saying, hey, man, I'm sorry I've been wasting your time with McDaniels. I'm sorry I've been wasting your time in general. It's going to get better from here on out. That's got to make Max a very happy dude. Number 4 here on the list, it's Josh Jacobs. And I hate being the I told you so guy, but to me, I feel like I have to be the I told you so guy because it was so damn obvious why Jacobs couldn't get his running game going. It's because teams were stacking the box because nobody respected Josh McDaniels. Nobody respected Jimmy Garoppolo. And sure, he still averaged only 3.8 yards per carry, but in the first half of that game, dude was churning yards left and right. And then at the end, the Giants started to stack the box. The Raiders went a little bit more vanilla because they knew they had the game locked and they were going to get a win. But watching that game, that was the running back that the Raiders paid for in Jacobs. Clearly a winner, better stats ahead. Hopefully if you had Fantasy Football League and somebody out there was willing to trade Jacobs, hopefully you did it last week. Hopefully you listened to the show because he was my number 1 buy low option. Number 3 here, it's Aidan O'Connell at quarterback. It's not too often when you're a 4th-round rookie do you get an opportunity to start in the National Football League. Not only are you starting, but you're in a really big spot right now. You're taking over for Jimmy G, a very well-known QB. You're taking over for Josh McDaniels, this brand-new offense, another interim head coach. Aidan has a real shot here to cement himself for a long NFL career. And the reason why I say that is this. If he goes out there and he balls out for the rest of the season, it's going to be a tough decision. Do we stick with Aidan or do we decide to go with a new quarterback in the draft next year? But on top of that, if Aidan's able to play really well these final 8 games, he could have a 10-year career as a backup. And, I kind of laugh at Brian Hoyer, but Brian Hoyer has been in the NFL for 15 years. That is millions upon millions of dollars, life-changing money. And Aidan has a great opportunity that simply not a lot of players get, and especially not a lot of players with this much talent around him. Coming in here at number 2, it's Antonio Pierce at head coach. If Antonio Pierce gets this team to the playoffs, he's your head coach. He's also the first time in a long time that I have a head coach on the Raiders that it's a guy that I want. He's a Raider through and through. Dude screaming Raiders from Compton. This guy bleeds silver and black. He is everything that I think a Raider embodies. The reason why Maxx Crosby is my favorite player, that's what a Raider is supposed to be. The reason why people love Davante Adams, that's what a Raider is supposed to be. The reason why people love Antonio Pierce is because when he talks, people listen. And when he's talking right now, makes me want to run through a brick wall. Antonio Pierce is my head coach right now, and at number 2, the second biggest winner. But, drum roll please, the biggest winner. I see some people saying Mark Davis. It's a good guess. It's not. The biggest winner is the nation. For being able to stick through all the bullshit, all the Josh McDaniels upside down, go around roller coaster ride that we were on. With the John Gruden fiasco, with Mike Mayock's terrible draft picks. I mean, this has been a shit show for a long time. I mean, it's not just the last 5 years, 20 years. Antonio Pierce is the 12th head coach in the last 20 years for the Silver and Black. But yesterday's game against the Giants made a lot of people, and now I always wear my Raider stuff, but the amount of smiles that I saw, the amount of people saying, hey, I'm going to go to Raiders games again. Hey, I'm going to put on my Raiders gear again. I'm going to rock the shield. I'm going to rock the silver and black. To me, better days are ahead because win, lose, or tie, you already made the right choice in moving on from Josh McDaniels. So because of that, Raider Nation is easily the biggest winner after that Giants game. For the remaining schedule, here on the Raiders Report, if you're not subscribed, make sure you are. We will be live tomorrow on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Then I'm going to be live again on Thursday for a little Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears football. I mean, I don't know. That's going to be grandma getting out of the tub ugly to watch. But you know what? We're going to watch it. Just saying that out loud sounds weird. Then we're going to be live Sunday for Sunday Night Football, Raiders, Jets. It's going to be one hell of a time, so if you're wondering when we will be live this week, take a screenshot, as we always go live Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and when the Raiders play. All right, y'all, quick recap here again on my biggest losers after this Giants game. Ja'Cory Bennett, and then we're just going to call the Raiders Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler disciples. And then for the winners, because that's where we should concentrate on, Michael Mayer, Bo Hardigree, all the receivers, the entire offensive line. Robert Spillane's about to go to this next step, I think, even with Antonio Pierce. Mad Max, Josh Jacobs, Aidan O'Connell, Antonio Pierce, and then at number 1, and I mean this, it's not close, the nation is the biggest winner moving forward with Antonio Pierce after the Giants game and after Mark Davis finally smartened up and decided to move on from Josh McDaniels. All right, y'all. Remember, if anybody wants to give me a follow on IG or on Twitter, I am at Mitchell Renz 365 here. I try to do my best to keep you guys up to date on all things going on around this team because I get it. Not everybody can tune into the show and watch. Grade the play of Aidan O'Connell against the Giants. A, B, C, D, or F. Where do you sit? And get your votes in. We'll give some shout-outs here in a little bit. I see Juan Hernandez spamming
I would give him a C+.
C+? Okay. So Chug's going to go C+. David Gutierrez says B+. Anthony Rojas, A. M. Blum, B+. Margarine, B+. I see a B+ from Rebel Montana. A from Queen Sarah Auto. To me, the way that Aidan O'Connell played, I'm probably in that B range as well. I thought...
It's close. It's close. It was close to a B for me.
I think it depends. Are you looking at...
If I'm giving him a grade, like, if I'm giving him, like, a number grade, I'm giving him, like, a 78 or a 79.
Sure. I think he did a good job. Like, to me, I think he's more around, like, 84, 83, wherever. Is that a B minus? Is that a B? I don't really know. I haven't been in school in a long time. But to me, the Raiders put up points, right? Like, they put up 30 points. Sure, he didn't finish the game without any touchdowns. But the number one statistic, the reason why I can't give him a C, no interceptions. It's the first game the entire season that not a single Raiders quarterback turned the ball over, and Aidan didn't do that. Again, sure, he didn't score any touchdowns, but Jacoby Myers had a rushing touchdown. Jacobs found pay dirt twice, and they looked still like a much, much better offense. Like, to me, if we're going to look at the quarterback position and judge it on wins and losses, I know it's not a fair thing to do, but that's what people do.
I wanted to get to this really quick. Jack said he's got to get to class, which I commend you, Jack. A studious Raiders fan, but he said, hey, can you show my super because I want to ask Mitch a question before I run into class. So, Mitch?
All right, I want to see what this rookie's got. I'd like to see a very rare pass-heavy game this week. Win or lose, I want to know what we've got in AOC. I hear you. I want to see, a pass-happy game to a certain degree as well. To me, though, like, that's not going to be the Raiders' success. Like that's not going to be the recipe to see how good Aidan O'Connell is. Like, Aidan's a fourth-round rookie, and they're going to do what's working. And early on in that game yesterday, they got the running game going with Josh Jacobs, and it was going. I mean, that offensive line showed you that's one of the better offensive lines in football. But when you take pressure off your rookie, you allow him to be a lot better. Like, I don't want a game where Aidan O'Connell's, constantly behind like he was against the Chargers, and Chargers players can pin their ears back and get after him, and it's going to lead to a lot more sacks. To me, Aidan O'Connell's going to be best in a balanced offense. Aidan's not somebody that you want to go out there 5 wide, let it rip. To me, the perfect offense for Aidan O'Connell, like, honestly, and this is one of the reasons why, if they decided to stick with him, one of the number one candidates out there is Ben Johnson for me, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, because to me, what Aidan can do is he's really good with play action, and I think that if you go with an offense like Aidan, to me, is like a lesser version of what Jared Goff is. He's not going to just wow you. He can make some really, really good throws. There's sometimes like, holy shit, he's great. He's also had a few boneheaded plays. I get it. He's a rookie. But to me, the best Aidan O'Connell will be is in a very balanced offense with a solid running back like Josh Jacobs. Get back to class. What up, Derek? Pierce even gets me get excited to throw some pads on and get out there to promptly get murdered. But he gets you hyped, actually excited for the future. I think we're all very, very excited for the future. I think we're all excited to see where this Raiders team can go underneath Antonio Pierce. But, yeah, I'm not throwing on any pads at this point in my career. Chugg's voice is like a combination of Fergie and Jesus.
Fly like a bird, I want to fly away.
Yeah? Wow. Fergie and Jesus, name that movie. I know you know the movie. I was saying to them, name the movie. If that's the most talked about movie in this office, and I don't know if it's close.
Oh, I don't even know what the second.
I don't even know what the second movie would be.
it's probably, which everybody's getting it in the chat, probably Step Brothers. Not a movie, but I think the next one would be Entourage.
That's mentioned very often here.
I don't think either of us has seen Entourage.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
But it gets talked about so much in this office, I feel like I've seen Entourage.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another show that guys talk about.
The other guys?
I mean, as much?
No, I'm like tiering it. Like, from like what we talk about the most.
I feel like recently we just started talking about the other guys because of Dirty Mike and the boys in his soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen.
Soup kitchen. What up, Joshua Pugh? Love the show, Mitchell.
Soup kitchen.
Can you do a shout out to my wife, Erin? All right, hang on a second here. Is her last name also Pugh? I'm going to guess. Okay. Joshua and Erin, congratulations. Happy 5-year anniversary. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing that you guys have been able to accomplish. You know what, Jeremy? I want everyone down below spam happy anniversary to Joshua and his wife, Erin. I mean, that is...
Happy anniversary to you.
I didn't know where you were going. Happy anniversary to you.
Happy anniversary, dear Joshua and Erin Pugh.
Pew, pew.
Happy anniversary to you.
Pew.
And get it in.
I mean, it is. Joshua said, enter me. Right there with that one. Erin on Friday, 11/10. Congrats, man. That's awesome. When's you and Danny's anniversary?
The 4th of July.
Oh, fireworks.
Yeah.
Really trying to get in there with a big bang.
America!
Wow. Is that what you said? My anniversary is February 29th. I know. I waited on purpose. Alex hated it. She's like, the only way we're doing an anniversary on the 29th is if every 4th year, leap year, which is this year, we do something big. So.
Is that what you're doing?
Something big? Yeah.
What are y'all doing?
Well, she's doing something big. I'm just doing same old. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
I don't know what that means.
Something big. We just got to do something big. We'll figure it out. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, February 29th. Big Bang Theory. It's the Big Bang Theory.
And if you don't know why Joshua is entered, why Joshua...
Yeah, I was going to say, let's clarify that.
We're doing a jersey raffle on behalf of Triva. $10 entry via Super Chat or Venmo, I guess.
Or Venmo's fine. I mean, I've already had a few people send me their Venmo, which was Alfredo and Raul.
Yep.
So,
fly like a bird.
You guys are entered right now. I don't know how many people we have, but if you want to go count up all the 10s, Queen Sarah Otto, July 6th, her anniversary.
Oh.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Something big. But yeah, after this next segment, we're going to be doing that jersey raffle.
Also, not really Raiders related, but NFL related. The NFL just announced that the 2025 NFL Draft is going to be in Green Bay, April 24th to the 26th.
Boo.
Who wants to go to Green Bay?
Think of how lame. You've been working to get drafted your entire life. You're like, can't wait to walk across that stage. Happiest moment of my life, and it's in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You're staying at a Marriott.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's where the top 10 picks are staying.
Yeah.
If you're a second round pick,
Howard Johnson at best.
If you're a second round pick, you're at a La Quinta.
Oh man, not a La Quinta.
Hopefully the jacuzzi suite.
Oh, they'll keep the light on for you. All right, y'all. We got 800 people watching this show. Again, shout out to all y'all. Shout out to Trivan for letting people get in this Raiders Report jersey giveaway. If you don't know what it is, I'm rocking a Trivan, and if you want me to wear your jersey, so like if C. Rich won, he could get C. Rich, and he get to pick his number.
You know why they're doing this, though?
What?
I think with some of these drafts,
okay,
they're doing it, or they're starting to do it in places that they know the Super Bowl is never going to be. They're never going to do a Super Bowl in Green Bay because of the weather.
Sure.
And the media and how it'll be affected.
Yeah.
They're never going to do a Super Bowl in in Chicago until they get a covered stadium. Any inclement weather stadium that's not a dome, they're not doing the Super Bowl in. Because they're not going to risk having a bad weather game on the Super Bowl. Playoffs is different. But Super Bowl, I remember that Seahawks-Broncos Super Bowl and how scared the NFL was since it was in, not New York, New Jersey.
But it was beautiful.
It was a little overcast.
I mean, it was overcast, but I remember because when I was in college, I was in New Jersey. And at that time, I worked for MetLife Stadium, the Jets, during that year. But it was like 65 degrees in February, which is unheard of during that time.
Yeah.
It was also a terrible game. I mean, it was like I think it was like 43-8 is what it was. It was brutal. I also saw somebody asking for my Venmo. It's at Mitchell Renz 365 if you want to get in for the $10 jersey raffle. So you can do it on Super Chat or you can do it on Venmo. Either one works for me, whatever's easier.
That's why they keep on doing the Super Bowl in the Texans Stadium.
I mean, they do it where there's domes. I mean, pretty soon, like the Raiders is going to be a very common stadium. I mean, the Raiders, that's where the Super Bowl's at this year. I'm hoping we can go out.
Did we read this one from C. Rich?
No, we did not. Brothers, if AOC gets us into the playoffs this year, do we still go after a quarterback in the early draft rounds? To me, I think you got to answer it in this regard. I think you answer it of, are you going to stick with Antonio Pierce? If the answer to that question is yes, Antonio Pierce looks at you and goes, I want Aidan O'Connell to be my quarterback, that's your decision. Like, that's the decision. To me, you got to figure out first who your general manager and who your head coach are. And you ask them a question, what are we doing at QB? If Antonio Pierce says, I want Aidan O'Connell, you're rolling with Aidan O'Connell. If Antonio Pierce goes, I get we made it to the playoffs with him, but I'd still like a different opportunity, that's where you roll. And if you don't want to go with Aidan O'Connell at all, then maybe you bring in a totally different head coach. Because if you keep Antonio Pierce and the Raiders make it to the playoffs and you don't keep Aidan O'Connell, I think that's going to put you in a little bit of a difficult situation.
Yeah.
What up, Brian Darr?
4/4/14. I'm in.
Anniversary is my guess.
Yeah.
April 4th of 2014.
Eric Ferreira, my wife, and I celebrated 16 years on October 5th. That actually might be one of the other movies that we talk about the most. My wife.
So my fiance, Alex, her birthday is October 6th. It's kind of close. Congratulations, though, Eric. Congratulations, man.
Congrats on getting it.
I mean, obviously, you got a kid in the picture. Hopefully that's his.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, you ever go to a restaurant, you're like, all right, I need a new Facebook picture. You're just going to go up to some random woman and her kid and be like, hey, can I get a picture with you so I can put it on Facebook? I bet you people have done that.
Fly like a bird.
I think that's the case.
I want to fly away.
Really? How many games will the Raiders win this season? It's going to be the next question that I ask the nation. So I want you guys to already start getting those comments flowing. How many games will the Raiders win this season? It's going to be the next question that I ask you. The Raiders just signed Brandon Parker to the practice squad.
Oh.
I guess he's going to be back earlier than expected. I thought he even might have been done for the year. They just signed Brandon Parker to the practice squad. Here's what's going to happen. Justin Herron, his ass is about to get cut. They haven't put out there if they made another move. Justin Herron is about to get cut. That's my prediction. I mean, he stinks. The only reason why he's on this team is because he's a McDaniels guy. He stinks. You ready? Let me get a quick sip here. Come on. I know, Raider Reese, Brandon Parker, I mean, he just keeps coming back.
Glug, 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 glug.
I'll tell you this, though. Brandon Parker, better than Justin Herron. Can't tell me otherwise. Better than Justin Herron. All right, coming up here on the show, we're going to get into my Raiders' brand new season prediction moving forward. You good? I think he's good. I'm good, too. Let's get this thing popping.
Oh, yeah.
How many games will the Raiders win this season? I'm Mitchell Renz, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I'm going to go through the remainder of this entire schedule and tell you how many games the Silver and Black are going to win. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and I figured that I got to do this show because now that Josh McDaniels' ass is out the door, you got a brand new interim head coach in Antonio Pierce. I got to be able to sit up here and tell you where exactly I think that the Raiders are going to finish this season because it's a totally different football team. You got a different quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. Now it's Aidan O'Connell. The Raiders moved on from the clown. You got a brand new guy calling plays. The Raiders are 4-5 on the season. But I kind of feel like that we're 1-0 right now with Antonio Pierce. So as it stands so far, this is where the Raider season has been. We are 9 weeks through this season, and it's been a roller coaster ride. If there is ever a theme park that opens up in Las Vegas, some of you are like, Mitch, there is already one. I don't know if there is or not. The ride that they should call the main attraction, the roller coaster, just call it the Raiders. I mean, and people are going to absolutely get it. So right now, as it stands, the Raiders have a 4-5 record. And for the first time this season, in Week 9, the Raiders were able to put up over 20 points on offense. So a lot of people are feeling good. The good vibes are rolling. However, though, the Raiders don't have that easy of a stretch. They have some easy games. They also have some difficult games for the remainder of their schedule. You have Sunday Night Football against the New York Jets and Zach Wilson. Then Week 11 in Miami, and the Dolphins this season have been a better football team at home. In fact, they are totally different from road to home. Week 12 against Chiefs. Chiefs are never going to be an easy football team. However, if the Broncos can beat them, why can't the Raiders? Then you get a little bit of a time off. Get a bye week here. Then you move forward to Week 14 against the Minnesota Vikings. It's Josh Dobbs' time, I guess. He did get a win. Could it be Jaron Hall? Minnesota doesn't have Kirk Cousins anymore. Week 15 versus the Los Angeles Chargers on Thursday Night Football. And then you get 10 days to prepare for Patrick Mahomes on Christmas in Arrowhead. And over recent years, the Raiders have had a lot more success in Arrowhead than what they've had in Allegiant Stadium. Week 17 against the Indianapolis Colts and Gardner Minshew. And then Week 18, you go back to the Denver Broncos, who you have beaten 7 times in a row. Now, if you bleed silver and black, I want you to hit that subscribe button, and a friendly reminder that Jeremy Chuggs and I, we go live for every single Raiders game, and I get it. I know that not everybody can afford to go to the games because they're expensive. I understand that people wish, oh man, I want an Oakland tailgate again. We bring Oakland tailgates every single day. We give you the live play-by-play, and a lot of times we're ahead of the TV because, newsflash, the internet's faster. But you know what? We also have a lot of people here that I consider real ones, and people that I know ride and die with me, bleed silver and black, and they're always the first ones in our shows and the first ones in our live show on Monday. So shout out to Martin, Luis Rodriguez, Husker Raider, Bobby Hernandez, and Queen Sarah Otto. At the end of the day, we're not always going to agree. Sometimes that's the way family is. But the Raiders Report is a family built on the backs of the nation, having that passion and always being there. So if that's the type of Raider fan you are, hit that subscribe button and join our watch parties. So coming up here, we're going to get into our Raiders season predictions. I'm just going to go through the remainder of the games, and spoiler alert, at the time that I am recording this video, the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets have not played Monday Night Football, so their records are not updated. However, my opinion will not change based on that game. So let's look now at the Raiders' Week 10 game. Sunday Night Football. I remember when I originally did this game, I was anticipating some Aaron Rodgers action. Well, now you don't have Aaron Rodgers, but the New York Jets do have one of the best defenses in the entire league. You have Zach Wilson, who's very shaky. Breece Hall's a hell of a running back, one of the best backs in the league. And that scares me because I know the Raiders' defensive line has struggled. With all that being said, I'm taking the Raiders to win this game. I think that they're going to put up a good amount of points. The offense for the Jets doesn't scare me enough. I'm thinking a low-scoring game, probably something like 23-17, somewhere in that realm. But the Raiders get the dub against the Jets. They move to 5-5 on the season. Now let's go look at Week 11. Now you got to go to Miami, down to Miami Gardens, Florida, up against the 6-3 Dolphins, who they have a ton of speed. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle. You have speed from top to bottom. I believe that's also the week that Aidan is going to be back for Miami. Tua Tagovailoa's got some ups and some downs, but this season the Dolphins are 6-0 against teams with a winning record. And they are 0-3 with teams that are 6-0 against teams with a losing record, 0-3 against teams with a winning record. The Raiders at this time, I believe, are going to be 5-5, which means I think the Dolphins end up winning this one. I mean, it would have been a battle of McDaniel against McDaniels. I'm happy that it's not. But to me, the Dolphins are a better team, and I got to be a realist here, or else I would have just picked the Raiders to win the rest of the games. Let's now go to Week 12 here against the Kansas City Chiefs. This one is in Las Vegas. And anytime the Chiefs come to town, I mean, you got to treat this like the Super Bowl. They are the best team in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the entire league, and every time that they show up, you better bring your A game, because if you don't bring your A game, breaking news, you're not beating Mahomes. You're not beating Andy Reid, and this is going to be a phenomenal test for a team like the Raiders to see just how truly, truly good they are. So, unfortunately, though, I'm going to say the Raiders end up losing this game to Kansas City. They're going to drop to 5-7, so they're going to win 2 games in a row with Antonio Pierce. Then you're going to lose 2 games in a row with AP, and then you're really going to look yourself in the mirror, and you're going to find out what type of team this Raiders team is. Shout out to today's sponsor, WaterBoy, and I'll tell you what, man, I freaking love WaterBoy because this is probably one of the best sponsors I've had for what Las Vegas is, what Raider Nation is. Answer these questions. When you go to Las Vegas, do you like to party? Yes. When you watch the Raiders report, do you like to have a drink or two? Yes. Well, I don't know about you. There are some mornings I wake up and I'm like, oh, man, I can feel that boot that Triva gave me. I can feel that beer bong I did from Nico Laz. And if you have that feeling, I'll tell you, WaterBoy is really going to help that hangover. So support for today's show comes from WaterBoy. WaterBoy is hydration powder scientifically formulated to cut your hangover time in half. There are other hydration packs on the market, but nothing comes anywhere close to fighting those Sunday scaries like WaterBoy. With 0 sugar and over 3 times the electrolytes of Liquid IV, your hangover will stand no chance. Unlike their competitors, WaterBoy has added ingredients beyond just hydration to help with nausea, anxiety, and fatigue. We all know that hydration alone isn't enough to help after that bender that you just had in Las Vegas. So for a limited time, our listeners get 15% off your entire order at waterboy.com/chatsports. Wake up, Friday after our Thursday show. Wake up Monday after a Raiders Report watch party. Wake up any day after we go wild here on the show. Maybe it's a 26-hour live stream because the Raiders fired Josh McDaniels. Here's the thing. I get hungover too, and WaterBoy helps me get over those hangovers a little bit quicker. So 15% off at waterboy.com/chatsports. That link's going to be available to you guys down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. Let's go to Week 14 here against the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings are a very difficult team to be able to wrap my mind around because there are some weeks they look like the worst team in the NFL. And then there's other weeks you're like, oh, shit, this team's pretty good. Well, now I don't know if they're going to have Justin Jefferson. They're definitely not going to have Kirk Cousins. And I just believe that the Raiders are going to be able to get this dub. I will say the Vikings also have a bye week 13, so both teams get plenty of time to rest going into it. But give me the Raiders to win this game, moving them to a 6-7 on the season. Let's now go to Week 15, Thursday Night Football against the Chargers. And I always feel like when the Raiders play on Thursday night, they always somehow match up against the Chargers. So it's going to be a short week for both teams, obviously. But to me, the Raiders have struggled for whatever reason going to L.A., even though it's a home game. But they've done a good job at home. And this is going to be another game where they're going to get a win. This is going to be a revenge game for Aidan O'Connell. And I know that the Chargers gave AOC a lot of problems in that Week 4 game where they lost 24-17. But to me, after getting a few games under his belt, getting a little bit of confidence going, the Raiders are going to get this dub against the Chargers, moving them to 7-7 on the season. So Week 15, you have Thursday Night Football, and they get 10 days to rest for Christmas. And I'm looking forward to Christmas. I'm hoping that, we don't get coal in our stocking, but I already feel like Christmas came early because the Raiders fired McDaniels. Here's the thing, though. Going into Arrowhead's never easy. The Raiders, though, have played better when they have gone to Arrowhead. Unfortunately, I gotta be real with you. I don't see the Raiders beating the Chiefs this season because the Chiefs are a better team. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that the Raiders run into a win like the Denver Broncos did against Kansas City. But this one's going to drop them to 7-8 on the season. Let's now go to Week 17 here against the Indianapolis Colts. It's going to be Gardner Minshew. It's not Anthony Richardson, which I am happy about because I really think Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor, hell, even Zach Moss at this point, they would have given the Silver and Black some trouble because they can't stop the run. And the fact that they can't stop the run, the Raiders have had a lot of trouble against Indianapolis. But to me, if I'm a Raiders player, this is a revenge game. This is you better walk with a chip on your block here because you had freaking Jeff Saturday walk off being a high school football coach, get 3 days with the Colts, and then embarrass you when you had Josh McDaniels. If you're a Raiders player and you don't take that with a man, this is going to be a pride game. I want to see how much pride they have, and they're going to get a dub, moving to 8-8 on the season. So now we're at Week 18, the Denver Broncos. And the Broncos are a team that, I'm just going to be real with y'all, I'm going to take the Raiders to beat the Denver Broncos every time they play. When you beat a team 7 times in a row, it's a mentality. It's an expectation. I don't know how many days it's been since the Broncos beat the Raiders, but I know that the last time Denver beat the Las Vegas Raiders was 2019, December 29th. So if you want to go back and do that math, you are more than welcome to do so. I know it's been over 1,370 days at least. The Raiders are getting a dub against Denver, moving them to 9-8 on the season. So my record prediction is this. You got a 9-8 record. Is that going to be good enough to get into the playoffs? That question is still yet to be seen. And as the season goes on, we will do playoff pictures. We will do shows around whether or not the Raiders are going to be able to get in. But my question of the nation is, and this is one of those shows where it's an honesty thing. I could sit up here on this show and I could say, win, 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 just win, baby. Raiders finish the season 11-5 or 12-5 now, whatever the hell it is. But I can't do that. Like I got to sit up here and I got to be real with y'all. So do you think the Raiders are going to make the playoffs? Give me a yes. Give me a no. For those of you that are watching this live, you voted on how many wins you think the Raiders are going to get. 24% say 10+. I think that might be good enough to get in. Or I don't know if it is, because right now the AFC playoff picture, it is tight. And this is based on where we are currently at as the time I am making this video. So remember, the Jets, they're 4-3. They haven't played the Chargers yet. The Chargers, you don't see them on screen, who are currently 3-4. They have to play the Jets. If both those teams go to 4-4, well, then you add more teams here to the hunt. I mean, it's kind of crazy to me that 4 teams right now in the AFC North would end up making it in. I mean, you got Baltimore, the Steelers, the Browns, and the Bengals. If I were to predict one team in here right now that's not going to make it in, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they might be the most fraudulent 5-3 team that I have ever seen. Another team that I do not think ends up making the playoffs is going to be the Miami Dolphins, because I see them having a collapse for the simple fact of if you can't beat good teams, I know Buffalo's a very fraudulent team themselves, but the Bills to me are a team that I will pick every single time over Miami. So for that reason, I don't see Miami making the playoffs, and I do not see the Pittsburgh Steelers making it. So you're saying there's a chance, Mitch. I'm saying there's a chance. I'm not saying there's a great chance. But the Raiders got to start putting together some wins, and I want to see how Aidan O'Connell plays. I want to see how Antonio Pierce plays. I want to see how this entire Raiders team rallies behind a brand-new interim head coach. Now, as always, I want to see what you guys think. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and if you ever want to interact with me on social media, there is one place to find me and one place only. That is at Mitchell Renz 365. What is up? What is up? Eric Ferreira says 1,407 days as of today since the Broncos beat the Raiders.
Somebody needs to have that meme where it's like 5,600 minutes.
I don't know what that is.
At the very end of The Office, have you ever seen it?
I mean, I've seen the very end of The Office, but that's just not ringing a bell to me right now.
Or not the very end. When Michael leaves, and they all stand up, and they're like, 5,600 minutes.
I'll be honest. I've watched The Office 2 or 3 times. That's not ringing a bell to me right now.
You know what I'm talking about, Petey.
Well, Petey, of course, does. It's not ringing a bell. I'm telling you. It's not ringing a bell. The entire office right now, I'm worried if I leave here, Trace has got a noose. I think that's a noose. I don't know what it is. It looks like it.
Something's coming out of his pants.
Yeah, there's something going on over there. Will the Raiders make the playoffs? Give me a yes, give me a no. This is also going to be your final opportunity to get in for our Trivan jersey.
Brandon, I know it's from a musical. I can't remember the musical name, but it's like at the end of, or whenever Michael Scott's leaving, everybody's like 5,600 minutes.
Really? Just like that. Yeah. I also just saw.
Also, this is hilarious. Nico LaRoe. He didn't say it in a super chat, but before he super chatted, he said, "Why is it always Nico Laz and never Nico LaRoe?"
Well, now you know.
Can you predict win and loss for the rest of our schedule? I mean, I think
we just did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that one came in before. Yeah. I think we just did.
Yeah.
Nico, actually, I made an entire segment on the fly just for that.
Yeah, we were going to do something completely different. Yeah. I saw this and I said, "Yo, Mitch."
Let's do it.
Presented by WaterBoy.
Also, Buzzomatic69, I have messaged you for, I'm going to say, 3 or 4 weeks on Venmo. I need your address. Can you please send me your address? Huh?
Creepy much.
Well, he was MVP, and I've been trying to send him the football. The signed Chugs and Mitch football.
5,000.
So, Buzzomatic69, I need you to message me on Venmo your address. I know you're watching. You just Venmo'd. Eric.
Oh, it's Buzzomatic in?
Yeah, that's the name I just sent you. Oh, you know what I just realized? I've been messaging myself. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I sent you 2 other names for the.
Yeah. I got those. I put them in.
Which ones?
Alfredo and
Raul. Okay. Yep.
5,700.
Buzzomatic.
600 minutes.
Matt Fluhey.
Yes, that's what it's from.
And then
Kevin,
Gilbert Mag.
I'm upset with myself because I've actually seen Rent. It's from Rent the Musical.
I don't even know what Rent is.
Really?
Don't even know what Rent the Musical is.
It's a really popular musical.
See, I'll be honest. Outside of sports, I don't know a lot.
There's this one song where this chick is trying to get, like, she is so on this one dude. Like, she is trying to get it. And she's like, "Won't you light my candle?" And she's like asking this dude to light her candle. If you know what I mean.
Wow. It's the fire's burning.
And he keeps on blowing it out, and she's like, "Light my candle."
Yikes. I wonder if Alex will... I'm not going to go to that.
But
Babe,
yeah.
I'm not going to go to that.
What?
I mean, think about it. What does a candle flame look like? Looks like a flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blow it out.
Spicy.
Blow it out. All right, Eric.
1,407 days till today.
Eric looks like he's blown out a few candles in his day.
Oh, he's definitely.
And Carlos Davis, get a pick.
Still won against the Chiefs or the Dolphins.
I hope. And Carlos, it's not that I disagree with you. And again, I'm just like such a... I'm also worried, though, we might steal one against the Chiefs. We might steal one against Miami. What's the game that we drop?
Nico Laz.
What's the game we drop?
Nico Laz all of a sudden is a theater savant. He goes, "Rent is okay."
I mean, I heard Jack gave it like an 86.
Worst musical I've seen all year. I'll give it a 92.
Yeah. I will say the only... I want to see...
Danny loves the theater.
Oh, I know that.
So out of all the musicals and plays I've seen, I think Wicked's been my favorite.
Wicked?
But I also like The Wizard of Oz. I remember having the VHS for The Wizard of Oz growing up.
So this is... The Wizard of Oz used to scare the hell out of me when I was a kid.
Really?
I still don't like watching it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a witch. Again, I don't do well with scary movies, but...
You know that movie's not really a scary movie.
Oh, I'm fully aware. But when I was a kid, The Wizard of Oz, I couldn't watch it. Scared me too much.
Nico, you're...
Never seen it, just assuming it's meh.
You're just like our Steelers host, Jack Sperry. You're just like him. You know what he told me today?
You sit cross-legged all the time.
He is right now.
Sperry sits cross-legged when he shits. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's not a doubt in my mind.
Holy shit.
Dude, literally. He does.
Sperry.
Ask him.
Sperry.
When he wipes his butt, it's cross-legged.
Sperry said.
He has no idea. He's got his headphones in. He's getting ready for the show.
He's just typing away, headphones in. 5,600 minutes.
And his legs are so long.
How do they fit crossed under the table?
I don't know how he drives. Sperry's the guy on the...
His right foot is on the brake and his left foot is hitting the gas.
Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, is right.
Oh.
Can you even
Sperry's like a giraffe if you cut off the back half. Just like the front, the legs, and the top.
Oh. Have you guys ever seen the movie Semi-Pro? Imagine Vakitis just crossing his legs. Oh, Sperry.
No, but
dog.
Sperry earlier said, Wendy's breakfast sucks. I was like, oh, you had a bad experience? And he goes, I've never had it. He goes, I just know it sucks.
Oh, man. That's amazing.
Oh, my God.
Also, good news. I just received Buzz-O-Matic's address, I think.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Dude.
God. I don't know if he did it right, though.
Dude, the line of he crosses his legs when he shits.
He does?
Has me dead.
Oh, and here he comes.
Have you had it? No. I don't need to.
Oh, my Lord. How do you know?
Sperry, quick question. Do you cross your legs when you shit?
There's not a doubt in my mind. Not a doubt in my mind.
Oh, my God.
Nico says, sounds like a reasonable man. I don't know. I don't know.
Daniel Caps Keenan, you're in.
Wow, what a name that just came in. Hey, Mitch, sync your prize picks to the app. You will love it. Hit for 384. Here's the thing. I can't do it, man. I got to rock with just prize picks. Those guys support my show here, so I'm going to roll with them. I appreciate the idea, but
oh my God,
I'm going to roll with prize picks. Unless those guys are giving us, I don't know, different ideas. But I think part of the fun with prize picks, and sure, like winning the money, I think the other part of it is like, for me, if I know, like, I don't know, I want to go to a bar with like my buddies, put an extra 20 down on some players, in. Zach Ruiz says, that's got to take some serious skill. There's no doubt. I asked Santa for a dub Christmas. 1-1. I hope.
That would be awesome.
Dude, getting a win on Christmas. I mean, I'm a little bit worried.
I asked Hanukkah Harry for a Raiders dub for all 8 nights of Hanukkah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got something in your eye, all right?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I started laughing, and I'm just like, I feel like I like.
Rubbed your eye too much?
Yeah.
I got you. You flicked your eye?
Way too much.
Yikes. Nico, cheers. Oh. This is a hell of a name. I'm going to call you Willie. Felt great watching the show yesterday without being so frustrated over the poor play calling from McDumdum. Mark Davis doesn't screw this up again. Thanks for all you guys do. Willie, I appreciate that, man. And I agree. Like, I literally felt like a proud parent. Like, I felt like everything that we've been saying for such a long time finally came in fruition. When what's so frustrating about it is when you know what the problem is, but the people who control the situation don't realize it or are too afraid to make a change. And I get it. You know, paying $85 million, I'll tell you that right now. $85 million writing a check just to get rid of somebody, it tells me two things. One, anybody that ever reported that McDaniels didn't have, or Davis didn't have enough money to fire him, wrong. First off, because he's got the money to be able to do it. And two, we knew McDaniels was the problem.
That's what Petey said.
What?
Said he's cash poor.
A lot of people think he's cash poor, which is fine. He might not have as much cash as other owners, but I don't remember Petey saying it or not. I don't know. Huh? What?
Poorest owner in the NFL.
Yeah, that's not true. But I don't know.
That goes back to the Sperry. Do you like Wendy's breakfast? It's awful.
Just prove it to me then. That's all I ask. He was at one time. He's not anymore. I mean, how can you be the poorest owner in the NFL?
I heard he can.
What? But he used to be. He's not anymore. Well, because the Raiders. How much they more in value they are. But he has more money now.
You're blowing Mitch's mind right now.
No, I get what he's saying, but I know at one time he was. He's not anymore.
The value of the team
I get it.
Okay.
I know, I get it.
He's got the least amount of cash on him.
I don't think he does. I don't think.
Who has least?
I don't know, but I don't think it's Mark.
Okay, so you just don't want him to be the
I just need to see. I need to see it.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying I don't believe you. I need to see proof that he's the poorest owner in the NFL.
You don't say that. You're not saying that you don't believe me. You're saying he's not the least poor owner.
Correct.
And I go,
Until I see it.
And you go, I don't know.
I don't think he is.
For no reason other than you just don't want him to be.
Correct.
Okay, so we're all
I don't think he is.
Oh, okay. Actually, to be fair, there might be one team just for thought that might have a more poor owner, and I think it might be the Bengals.
The Bengals don't have a business. Their business is the Cincinnati Bengals. They don't have a ton of cash on hand.
Dude, they haven't.
But
They're practice.
like Mark Davis does not have a ton of cash.
So
Their practice
a recent
facility?
article in 2023. However, it's all the information's based off of 2020.
What does that say?
In 2020, yes, Mark was at a net value of $500 million. I can remember it, but I don't think it's accurate because he hasn't added up all the new money that he's been able to bring in from the Raiders. Again, I might be wrong. I don't know. I thought it was the Bengals, to be honest.
If he's not 32nd, he's 31st.
Maybe.
I don't know how much better that is.
He's not the poorest. Who is? I don't know.
He's not getting the first overall pick. He's getting the second. Maybe he
Oh, my
is.
God.
I don't know.
All right. Super chat coming in from Ruthless Raider. Raiders got their I think I got my swagger back. Every cent spent to fire that bunch was worth it. Time to stack those dubs now.
Also, I appreciate the new picture. And I messaged you on Instagram today. He was the winner of our signed Maxx Crosby jersey. That's the one that Rolly screwed up, if you remember.
Yeah, Rolly's been
Ruthless
messing
Raider
a lot.
won the first race, and then all of a sudden somebody's different name is
Rolly's
in.
been messing a lot of stuff up lately.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Rolly and Sperry sit next to each other in the stalls with their legs crossed when they poop. In fact, actually, I've heard when Rolly crosses his left leg and Sperry crosses his right leg, they touch toes underneath the stalls. It's pretty amazing. All right, here's the race that we got, and then I think we can all agree we got to get the hell out of here. Last chance for you to get in. If you don't know what you're getting in for, it's this. You're getting in for a Trivan Raiders Report jersey. So it's not Trivan, it's your jersey. So I'm rocking my Trivan. I'm rocking it with number 24. Raiders Report jerseys go for $500 on Venmo. But when you get somebody like Mount Raidermore that wants to donate the jersey, guess what? You guys get an opportunity to win one. So we do still have a few numbers left. And for everybody that won, I will be able to go. Mark Davis in 2020 was $500 million. In 2023, $2.3 billion is what Mark Davis is worth now. So not the poorest. He's not. We have documentation. Mark Davis's net worth is $2.3 billion. All right, yeah. See, every other one then was just showing net worth. Oh, man. I don't know what he wants. So somebody has to go to Mark's house and count how much cash Mark Davis has under his bed. That's the only way we're going to be able to settle this. He doesn't even have a bed, according to Pete. He just sleeps on the street. Somebody go up to Mark Davis, hand him a 20. That way we know. Guy needs money. The guy needs money. David, you in. Thank you guys for everything that y'all do for the nation. Shout out to Trivan. Hell yeah, man. Shout out to Trivan. Since this is going to be a Trivan race, Jagger Drury says, am I in? Did you send in a 10? If he did, the answer is yes. If you send in a $10 super chat today at any point, you were in. Even if you didn't even know that you were in. Jagger, I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm rooting for Jagger, and I want a Jagger D jersey. We just got a new one, and this one is from Steven Montanez. Mr. Montanez. What do we got here? I think that's it. We have Buzz-O-Matic, Matt Fluhey. Did we get Gilbert? Gilbert Mag. Yeah, I wrote the names to you. Gilbert Mag, Matt Fluhey, Buzz-O-Matic. Another one that I don't know if we got was Rafael Murillo. In. Raul Shav. In. And you just got Steven Montanez. Oh, dude. This is Alex's new favorite name. I Smoke Wax. You in. I Smoke Wax. Yeah, I'll tell you what. And I Smoke Wax Bang is electric. I mean, there's, like I said, there's few names. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a few names that when it happens, it shakes it. It shakes the entire Chat Sports Studios. I Smoke Wax is one. Get me a Mitch. What a game yesterday. Facts. At Finesse Lounge 14, you in. Also, get a picture. Final call here. If you're like, Mitch, what are we getting in for? Oh, Captain Jack Morgan. I mean, would it be Captain? I'm not going to lie, a jersey that just said Captain on it, that would be tough. I don't know if I'd want one with Jack. Morgan, Captain. Can't do Captain JM. Not on this team. Okay, that's it. No more. All right, here we go. Winner of this, I think, actual race with people. It's an egg race. All right, so you guys know the eggs? I got you. So this is what I'm gonna do this Tri-Van boot. Oh, that'd be kind of funny. If they drop it, they're out. Oh, dude, I hope that's what happened. I mean, there's no way you're doing an egg race with 40 people and nobody's dropping the egg. Like, nobody. You got to keep your Josh eye on it, from what I know. All right, here we go. I'm going to do this boot while this race is going on. So, Chugs, I need you to do the race detail stuff while I'm doing this, and then after, I got it.
On your marks, get set. Egg! Oh, and off to an early lead is Raphael M. Brandon Jasper, Gilbert Mag in the front, Buzz-O-Matic, David Taken, backing up the rear. Oh, people are dropping their eggs. They're out. People are. Oh, my goodness. Matt Fluhey, David Taken, Brandon Jasper, you're down. At Finesse Lounge, Raphael M., Derek Constantine, they are at the front of the pack. Gilbert Mag dropping his egg. What a bad run for Gilbert Mag. Alfredo, Sean Navarro dropping his egg.
But you can pick the egg back up. I've never seen a race where you can pick the egg back up. Also, that was a great moonwalk there by Raphael. It might be Pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Captain Jack Morgan.
Watch out for 10 toes down.
Raul!
Oh, man, Raul, I think it's going to do it. I think it's going to be Raul.
Everyone drops their egg.
And now he's just showing off.
Wow.
Raul's a little bit of a show-off. Oh, man, that was big. I kind of liked it. The egg race?
People dropped their eggs, and then they kind of went back, and they had to pick it back up.
Dude, that was a great race. Shout out to Raul for getting the dub, man.
Nico said, out here doing hibachi.
Oh, Raul. All right, man. Raul, I got your Venmo. What I'm going to do, Raul, is I'm going to message you. What you're going to get here. So I'll send you all the jersey details, and then we can figure it out. So congratulations to Raul. And then, I don't know, he's saying something like DJ Watt's daughter, potentially. So DJ Watt, congratulations to you. It's a big win there, man. Happy to be a part of Raider Nation. Big week salary cap. Salary cap-wise, I mean, the Raiders can still go out there and they can spend. At this point in the season, if you want to add players, you're not going to go out and add like some big-time free agent, nothing like that. So you have money to be able to add players who you want. There's no doubt about that. All right, as soon as I get done here, Raul, I'm going to message you on Venmo that we can figure out what jersey you want, what number you want, all that kind of good stuff. The next time that you're going to see Jeremy Chuggs and I live tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern time, make sure you're tuning in for that. Then we're going to be live again on Thursday for little Panthers, Bears, Thursday night football action. I'm going to be out in Vegas Friday and Saturday, so make sure we link up, have a good time. And then, again, it's going to be Sunday night football. Raiders, Jets. Can't wait. Good days ahead, man. Appreciate all of y'all for tuning in. As Nico Last says, salute, gents.